Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to your favorite podcast, Melt in the Eyes. Welcome back to Melt in the Eyes, where we melt our insecurities and emerge as the best versions of ourselves. That is what we do here at Melt in the Eyes. I'm so happy to have you here. Today's episode 16 of our favorite series, beloved series, She Wins Anyways, where we learn that we get to win no matter what. I've been your host this time. I'm so happy to have you here. I don't know if it's your first time joining me. If it's your first time here today, tell me, yo man, it's my first time. If you've been here before, just give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up either way. It's your first time here, second time here. Give me a thumbs up. So I know you're here and I can just you know, feel your presence and everything. So as you can tell from today's episode, today we're talking about you think you're lazy, but you're not really. You're just living outside of your design. You're not living according to your design. What does that mean? I feel like if you're here, first of all, like I always say, is because you're looking for a change, you're looking for a solution. You want a solution. You want things to get better. So first for that, I want to congratulate you. I want to say congratulations on actually wanting to get better. Is the first step. Now the second step is stay until the end of the video. Let's get right into it. You think you're lazy because you don't work like everyone else. You don't think like everyone else. The things that others find easy, you tend to procrastinate on those things. You find those things hard. You don't know why. You don't get yourself to do the simple things. And you're like, why can't I just do this? Why am I struggling with this? But the truth is that, by the way, I have my computer here and I have some notes here. The truth is that you were never meant to be like everyone else. You were never meant to be like everyone else. And what does that even mean? Like being like everyone else. What does that even mean? We can even call that normal, right? Like like everyone else. We can also call that normal. So then my question is, why do you want to be normal? Why do you want to be normal? Because you think something is wrong with you, right? Like you're struggling to do the things you want to do. By the way, I have my past few lives has been on consistency and I wanted to be consistent. I have at least 2 lives on consistency. So check this out if you want to go deeper in this topic. I will link them below. But if I don't, just check it out on my live section and you will find them there. Or you can just type hashtag melt in the eyes and you'll most likely find them. Okay, this is off the actually it's not off topic. By the way, if you want to find my podcast, let's say you subscribe today and then you want to find my podcast, typing it in the search bar would be really hard to find it because my podcast I keep calling my podcast. My channel is I also have a podcast with this name, but my channel is so very new and it's still growing. So it's really hard to find it when you just type melting the ice in the search bar. If you want to find it, type hashtag melting the ice and then click on the hashtag and then you can find my channel and then you can just binge watch and become better, be happy, do your thing. Back into the episode. You feel like you're lazy and now you're thinking, so you've put yourself, let's say like you have two sections, the lazy and then the unlazy. You've put yourself in the lazy category. Why is that? Is it because you're not able to? Is it because you're struggling to do the things you want to do? But there has to be a reason why you call yourself lazy. The thing is that lazy has a very negative connotation, right? Oftentimes, if you're not able to do the things you want to do, it's because those things that don't really matter much to you. If you really dig deep, you realize that you're not really passionate about those things. Or maybe you're doing those things because you feel like you have to. So it's like have to energy. You feel like you should. So it's like should energy. It's not like you really, really want to do it. So I really wanted you, before you call yourself names, try to honestly look into your motivation, look into your desire, look into the reason why you're not able to do the things that you want to do. Do you really want to do those things? Or are you doing them because you were told you had to do those things? Some people can just like push through and do the things, right? Some people will push through and they get to a point where they become lazy because like It's almost like the grind is no longer grinding. I've said before, the grind is no longer grinding. The things before they could do, they could just push themselves. Now those things are no longer working. People call it burnout too. It could be that you're just burnt out because the things you're doing do not fill you up with life. The things you're doing do not excite you, and it'd be really nice if you can find out what things you used to do when you were a child. There had to be some things, like was it drawing? Was it painting? Was it writing? Was it singing? Every single day, before you call yourself lazy, like try to do those things. I have someone here. Hi, welcome. Let me know where you're watching from. So those things that you used to love to do when you were younger, you could have been drawing, you could have been singing. Like start to do those things one day at a time, and you'll notice that. Okay, and you notice that you're beginning to find your joy again. You're beginning to find like the excitement of life, because usually if you feel like you're lazy, there's a lot of guilt in that energy. It means you're beating yourself up. And the more you beat yourself up, that's not going to change anything. It's not going to make a difference. It won't change a single thing. It's going to make it worse. Because think about it. If you have a 5-year-old child and then you want them to do something, but then you just keep like, barking at them, being mean to them, not respecting them as a person, and then you want them to just keep over delivering and giving you everything. It's not going to happen that way. That child you're going to break their spirit. So see yourself as a precious child too. You might be a grown up, you might be older, but still, you have like a child inside of you. And that child inside of you, people call it your inner child. That inner child can hear you. It can hear you. And when you keep telling yourself lazy, you keep saying those bad things about yourself, it's not going to help you take action in the future, right? And you might think, man, if I start doing the things I love, drawing, singing, dancing, aren't I wasting time? You're wasting more time now. You're wasting more time now, because the thing is that when you feel like you're calling yourself lazy, when you're in this place, your soul, your inner child is saying SOS. It's saying SOS, I need help. Rescue me. I need help today. I need you to help me because I'm dying over here. That's like your soul, your inner child begging you to do something different, to try something new. So you just trying to force yourself into doing the same thing, it's not going to help you. Now, it might help some people, but at least try what I'm saying. Take a moment to just like, go do some things that are so simple. Today, for example, in my apartment complex where I live, they have a nice pool. It has like palm trees. We also have a jacuzzi, and I never go. And those are things that I also enjoy, like jacuzzi, just sitting by the jacuzzi and just like having my feet in the water and just relaxing, just enjoying the palm trees, enjoying the nice scenery that I get to have in my neighborhood, in my apartment complex. And I just don't enjoy those things. Because sometimes as adults, almost like we don't give ourselves permission to have fun anymore. It's almost like you've decided subconsciously that the things that could bring you peace, that the real things, not scrolling, not overeating, but the real things that can really just nourish you, it's almost like you've put those things behind and you're no longer giving those things importance. You don't give those things importance anymore. And that's part of the reason why you're feeling like you feel all this guilt. You're trying to push yourself to do something when you don't have to. You can ease yourself into it by finding out the things that you used to love to do when you were a child and doing those things. Today I went to the jacuzzi, like I said. I went there wearing this beautiful dress you see me wearing here. And I just put my feet, I didn't go all the way in the jacuzzi. I just sat, on the outside, the edge, and I just put my feet in the water. And I was just there, staring at the palm trees. It felt so nice. And while I was there, I thought, I'm going to record, I'm going to make a short too. So I made a short, I'm having this series that I call Crown Codes. Check it out. Every single day, I just share codes to reign and codes to become more of the empress we were born to be. So I just recorded one crown code when I was there, and there was sun. It was just really nice, and I was just thinking, why didn't I do this often? Because the way I felt, I'm sure if I had just scrolled in my room, I wouldn't have felt the relief I felt when I was there at the jacuzzi, outside, outdoors, having fresh air, having been able to look at palm trees in a nice weather. But I gave myself permission to do that. I give myself the permission to say, I'm going to enjoy this today. So what are the things that you used to enjoy as a child that you no longer give yourself permission to enjoy? What are the things that used to just light you up that you no longer give yourself permission to do anymore? Today I want you to really decide that you're no longer doing that. That from now on, you're really giving yourself permission to enjoy the things that light you up. Because life is all about that, right? If you keep having to push, where is the joy? Where's the fun in that? Before anything else, you're God's child. So to God, you'll forever be a child. You'll forever be a child. Life is so short and life is so precious. I understand that things that have to be done, but what if you just did things that made you happy? Things that filled you up. Like let's say it could be dancing. Today, for example, I went to the jacuzzi. That filled me up so much. And then because I'm so filled up, because I'm so excited, because I'm so happy, I cannot go ahead. I cannot take that happiness, that excitement, that peace I feel. I cannot pour it into something that I don't necessarily want to do. It's not going live. I love to be here with you guys. It's not going live. I've actually found a way to enjoy this. There was a time when I spoke about this. This was becoming very mechanical for me, but I've healed that. If you watch my previous lives, I talk about how I went about that. But that's the point I'm trying to tell you right now. Do the thing that fill you up and then pour that thing to something else that you don't really like. If you feel drained, it's because your body is saying SOS, your soul is saying SOS, it's saying I need help, it's saying save me. Save me. Right now I'm thinking of that song by BTS. It's a very old song. It's the very first song I heard from BTS. Very first song, and it's making me nostalgic, right? Is that song? Save me, save me. I need your love before I fall. Da 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 da. Save me, save me. I need your love before I fall. Fall do 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 do. So your soul is actually saying, "Save me, save me, save me." I'm gonna when I write the post for this, I'm gonna link that song, "Save Me," so you can just have that at that moment. If you don't know the song, listen to it. Your soul is begging you, "Save me." Your body is saying, "Save me." Your mind is saying, "Save me." Will you heed the call, or will you just push it down and try to blame yourself and call yourself names like lazy? Today, I want you to make a vow. Stop calling yourself lazy. Stop calling yourself lazy. Stop it. Will you stop calling yourself lazy? What are the words you can call yourself? Right now, I'm just in a mood where my mind, and my soul are saying SOS. They're saying, "Save me, save me. I need your love before I fall." Literally, your body is asking for your love. That's just like in the song it says. In the song it says, "I need your love before I fall." Your body, your mind, and your soul are saying, "I need your love. I might really fall this time. I need your care before I fall." So I want to give your body care. I want you to nourish your soul. The things that excited you when you were younger. Dancing, drawing, painting. Whatever those things may be. Whatever those things may be. I don't know what it is for you. But you have to decide that you deserve saving. And nobody's going to save you. Nobody can save you. No one. No one can save you except for you. It's a very internal process. Will you save yourself? Do you think you're even worthy of saving? If you feel like it's too hard right now, go play that song by BTS and just dance. Save me, save me. It's a very nice song. And that might just help you to just get out of this energy of feeling like you just have to, you just should. And just tapping back into playing, into being the child of God that God made you to be, into being this beautiful child that God created. The energy of play, enjoying simple things. So you're not lazy, you're living outside of your design. The way God created you, He built you for a certain life. And now that feeling you're feeling is a sign. SOS, save me. Do something different. Now you might think, oh, you don't understand. I'm so lazy. I scroll every single day. And now you put yourself in the category, like I mentioned earlier, of lazy. And then you have the lazy, you have the unlazy. You put yourself in the unlazy is so funny. Yeah, let's just call it driven slash unlazy, whatever. You have the lazy, and then you have the driven slash unlazy, and you put yourself in the category of lazy. Why? Let's just list some reasons. Because you scroll a lot, you scroll all day. What are other reasons? If I had people here, it would have been really nice to say, for you guys to give me some reasons as to why you think you're lazy. It would have made this very interactive, but I'm going to just try to flow with it and have as much fun as I can with this. Let's continue. So, you scroll all day, you scroll a lot. What else? You eat, you overeat. What else? You don't do what you need to do. What else? What else? What else do you think is the reason why you might be lazy? I'm thinking you keep like your room is dirty, you don't have a clean room. You don't do your assignments on time. What else can I think of? You wait at the last minute, like you procrastinate, right? Procrastination. I guess that sums up everything. Procrastination. So here are some reasons why you might think you're lazy. And a person that is driven, I guess, does not have those things, right? Now what we're going to do is that we're going to connect those two things. Because you're calling yourself lazy now, but like we said, I'm going to cancel the word lazy on top of this list. I'm going to say all you need to do is to activate. All you have to do. So right now I canceled lazy. We said we're not calling it lazy anymore. All you need to do is all you need is one thing, a catalyst. We're going to call it catalyst, right? We're going to say this person here is in need of a catalyst. In need of a catalyst. Catalyst. In need of it. So right now you're not lazy. I want you to say, whenever you call yourself lazy, pause and say, I'm not lazy. I'm just in need of a catalyst. Yes, exactly. You're not lazy. You're in need of a catalyst. What is a catalyst? The things I mentioned earlier. The things that used to fire you up when you were a child. The things that really used to excite you when you were younger. We need to find a specific catalyst, and I really wish some of you were here today, like live with me, so we could just like really have fun and do this. It'd have been a really fun thing to do together. So, what is your catalyst for you? What do you love doing? Okay, let's create a fake character. You know what? I'll just use myself. Let's use human. Okay. So I too, myself, I am someone too who has called myself lazy many times before because I was living outside of my design, right? I didn't go understand myself, and I was very much in the should have all that energy. And let's just take scrolling, for example. Let's just use scrolling for this exercise so you can do yours soon. So before too, I used to scroll a lot more. I've gotten a lot better. I used to scroll a lot more. So let's take scrolling. And we agree that if you're lazy, you're what? You're in need of a catalyst. You are in need of a catalyst. So for me, for scrolling, now we know that I'm not lazy. Human is in need of a catalyst to be able to make it. To the driven eye, she needs a catalyst, right? We're gonna come down here to my catalyst section. What are my catalysts? For example, I love to dance. I love to sing. So maybe I'm gonna play "Save Me" by BTS. I'm gonna start dancing "Save Me, Save Me," and that will just like shift my energy, right? But this is not a long term. This is just something to what people call pattern interrupt. So right now what we're doing is we're doing pattern interrupt, where we're literally breaking the pattern with a catalyst, right? So I now go on YouTube, I play Save Me, and I just dance. And if I have to cry, I cry. I dance. Save me, save me. Or anything. Or if I want to draw, I do that. I just be dancing. I play save me. I dance, I dance, I dance. After that song is over, I'm no longer in the same energy because now I have danced. I'm no longer calling myself names because I'm not in my head anymore. I'm literally dancing. I'm very much in my body, having a good time. Once the song is done, if I just stay still for a bit, I might go back to scrolling or doing something else that is like quote unquote lazy, right? But all I need to do is just to find my catalysts that excite me, things that work for me. So now, from that singing, from that dancing, sorry, we're not gonna find something to do. Something very small that's productive to do. It could just be fixing a tiny area of my room, right? Doing that. And now you've seen how I've taken myself from this in need of a catalyst, in need of a catalyst to getting a catalyst to doing something very small that's productive. Okay? This is just how to do it like every single day in a way that is effective, right? But ultimately, I'll tell you the truth. If you feel lazy, it's because you're living outside of your design. You're not aligned with things that truly make you happy because if you were living a life that excited you, if you were living like a life that was full of catalysts, things that genuinely make you feel so nourished, so happy, you wouldn't want to escape. You wouldn't need constant catalyst, right? So the goal is just to really create a life that you enjoy. Everything I mentioned right now, getting a catalyst, doing it, and then making it to the driven aisle, that is all very short term and it can work. But then long term, you have to ask yourself, how do I create a life that nourishes me? How do I create a life that nourishes me in mind, body, and soul? That nourishes me in mind, body, and soul. How do I create such a life? How do I do that? For that, you have to really begin to understand yourself. Begin to understand what is really happening within you because usually the life you've created, right? I'm sure you've heard this before. If you haven't heard this before, let me tell you. You created your life. Everything around you came from your belief system, the things you believe in. So the misery you feel you're experiencing today that you have to escape. So like almost like you created misery subconsciously, right? So from your subconscious mind, without being aware of it, which is I think 90 to 95% of your brain, subconscious mind, you created circumstances or a life that you're not happy about. Like you're not happy about that life. You don't like the life you're living now. And now because you don't like the life you're living now, you now want to cope from it. You now cope from that life. To cope from that life, you procrastinate cleaning your room, you procrastinate eating healthy food, you procrastinate making your life better, you scroll all day, you procrastinate, you overeat, you run away from things you have to do, you escape. Right? So subconscious mind is programmed with what doesn't serve you. You create from that mind, you create a life you're not happy about, right? Life not happy. Okay, you create a life you're not happy with. Then you escape from that life because it's just too much to bear, right? Now after you escape from that life, you don't call yourself the big name we said not to use anymore. You call yourself lazy. When you're literally, I won't say you're not a victim, right? But you're literally reacting to what you've created, right? What if we flip this whole thing around? What if you decided to work on subconscious and then you started to actually create a life that you're happy about? What if the life you created was happy and fulfilling to you? So the life you're creating is happy and fulfilling to you? Fulfilling to you. Now, the result will be no longer escape. The result will be what? I wish people were here with me right now. What, like nourished? Let's say nourished. Right? Now you don't have to escape anymore. Let's say, so before like you used to have a life you're not happy with, so you escaped and now you're present. Yeah. Now you're present. And now the result of being present in your life, a life that you actually enjoy, It's no longer that big fat word lazy. Now you are what? Driven. Driven. Because now you're present in your life. Your life is fulfilling because you're actually doing things that nourish you, doing things that fill you up. Every single part of your day is filled with things that nourish you. Now, even if everything is not perfect, most of the things that happen in the day nourish you. And that's enough to keep you driven most of the time. Then you will no longer have to use words like lazy with yourself, right? So I mentioned that everything is literally in your mind. But the Bible says in Romans 12, chapter 2, be you transformed, be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. I don't know if you've heard that verse before. It's a very popular verse of your mind. Now, whether or not you're a Christian or not, right? Or however you want to relate to God, I am using what I understand, and I believe that it can still help you. So whatever it is you believe in, just be open, and I'm sure this will also help you understand what you need to understand on your journey, and then you can apply it to your own faith. Okay? I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I'm just here to assist you as your friend, as your man for melting the ice in Shimi's Anyway series. Let's continue. So, be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. It said mind. It didn't say brain. Okay? It didn't say brain. No, it said mind. That is so powerful because the thing that is causing you to ultimately feel lazy about yourself is your mind. It's your mind. It's your perspective. Your mind, your perspective. Your mind and your perspective. And as you know, the Bible says, be you transformed by the renewal of your mind. So what has to be transformed for you to no longer call yourself lazy? For you to really ultimately stop the laziness, the loop. Your mind has to be transformed. Your mind has to be transformed. Okay? I gave you a very quick tip here on how you can, get a catalyst. You dance, for example, you dance, save me, you draw. And then after that, if pattern interrupted, and then you can now go ahead and take a small action. That works in the very short term, but usually you might relapse. You might want to relapse, or that action, that catalyst might not be strong enough to even get you out of the loop because you've practiced that loop so much that now you're literally addicted to your suffering. Now you're literally addicted to calling yourself laziness, to calling yourself lazy. You become addicted to the pattern of creating a life you don't like with your mind, being unhappy, escaping through scrolling, overeating, whatever you do, and then calling yourself lazy. It's like a way. It's become a loop of self-punishment. The loop of self-punishment, right? That loop of self-punishment. Why? You don't have to live that way. You don't have to live that way. What if you transformed your mind? Be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. It says be you. So when you transform your mind, the whole you becomes transformed. The whole you becomes transformed. Not just one thing, the whole you. So it's where to start. The little quick tip I gave you, it's excellent. It's really good. You do a little dance, you get back into it. That is not the end. That is just the surface. And he had melting the ice. We go beneath the surface. Okay? The surface is good. You start there. But if you really want to melt, the chunk of the iceberg is beneath the water. You have to be brave to literally go beneath the water and melt. It's uncomfortable. It's cold. But you have to melt that ice. Nobody can melt your ice for you. Nobody can melt your ice for you. Okay? I don't have an accent, so I hope I'm making perfect sense. Nobody can melt your ice for you. You have to melt your own ice. You have to be the one to transform your mind. And your whole being will be transformed. So how do we transform the mind? How do we do this? How do we go about actually transforming your mind in a way that the whole you can be transformed? And then, like I said, you can have the outcome of becoming driven. You don't have to try to be driven. You become driven because now you're building a life that you're happy with. You're building a life where everything you do, everything is aligned with you being fulfilled. Like you're literally fulfilled the entire time. You're happy. You're at peace with yourself. Why won't you be driven? When you're literally living a life aligned with your purpose, aligned with your own design, why wouldn't you be driven? It's the direct outcome. It's literally unavoidable. It will happen by force, by fire, it will happen. So how do we become driven? I think I have my water here. Oh, let me have some water. Felt very nice. How do we become driven? How? How do we become driven? It's very simple. It starts by you being aware of the lies that are in your mind. You can't change something unless you are aware of it. And I've mentioned this before with my stutter, how I've been very open about my stutter, which is very big to me because this stutter has caused me to feel shame in my childhood. So I have like childhood wounds around like my stutter. So me mentioning it, even when someone mentions, "Oh, I noticed you have a stutter," that used to bother me a whole lot. I've done work around that. I've learned to what transform my mind, and as a result, I have changed. Now I'm out here openly talking about my stutter. Is it perfectly okay? No, but this is like a huge shift, a huge difference because my mind was transformed. Right. By the way, if you're liking the episode so far, like, comment, subscribe, and share with anyone who is going through a lot, any woman, any man who is struggling, especially the ladies who are struggling, who feel like they should just give up, everything is over. Share it with them. They need this message. They need to know that nothing is wrong with them, that's not living according to their design. Okay, so share, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's continue. So, like I was saying, I had to transform my mind to even be here today. I had to let go of a lot of insecurities, things that were holding me back, a lot of pains that I was holding on to. I had to shed those layers. And it's a very painful, it can be very painful, right? Especially when you don't have support. But you always have God with you. You don't have to do it alone. You can usually pray and bear your heart out to God. You don't have to do it by yourself. God can help you transform your mind. God can help you shift the way you feel about yourself, right? So to transform your mind, you have to be aware of the lies. I mentioned my stutter here just now. You can't change something unless you're aware of it. I am aware of my stutter, and I do make efforts to be better. To also be more me when I show up here, though, I make effort in that regards too. To be more me of myself and everything. So, because I'm aware I have a stutter, I can actually make it better. I can actually work on it. If you have things below so here's the iceberg for me. So here's the iceberg. I think I like to draw things too. I don't know why, by the way. So you have the iceberg here. I just assume this is my iceberg. Right here is your conscious mind. It's above the iceberg, right? You're aware of these things. You're aware. This is just a part where you call yourself lazy, you insult yourself, and then you just like have this loop of self-punishment, right? And now what we want to do, we want to exit the loop. Because I think that's the reason why you're here. You're tired of being in this loop. You're tired of feeling like you're just repeating the same patterns over and over again. You're tired of feeling like nothing is changing. You're tired. You want out of this loop. You want to get out of this loop ASAP. Today, yesterday, any day. But you cannot exit that loop from this level of consciousness. This is just like 5 to 1%. This tip of the iceberg is just 5 to 1%. And you cannot exit this place. You cannot exit this loop of self-punishment from this place. When the Bible says, "Be you transformed by the renewing of your mind," the mind I'm talking about is this mind here, the subconscious mind. This is the mind I'm talking about here. The subconscious mind. Be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is the mind that has to be transformed. This mind has to be transformed. But now the thing is, how do you transform this mind when you can't touch it? It's below the iceberg. It's underneath the water. This mind here is in the air. So it's like the technique I showed you earlier, right? Remember how I told you about that? I showed you this. This is very messy now. But I told you that when you're scrolling and everything you're eating, or the things that you do that make you think you're lazy, right? I told you that to fix it, you need a catalyst, right? And we mentioned that the catalysts can be the things you used to love doing when you were a child. Drawing, singing, dancing, painting. All those things you used to just love doing. That can be a catalyst, right? And that doing that, like stopping, like you're scrolling, you stop scrolling, you just start drawing or you just start dancing, save me, like we spoke about on BDS. So you do that, you just pattern interrupted. Now you've shifted, right? But this technique I just mentioned to you right now, this technique is here. It's in the 5%. Right here, 5%. In fact, 5 to 1%. Yeah. So it's in the 5%. It's literally right here, tip of the iceberg. It's really good. It's start with that, right? So even if you do nothing, you learn nothing from this video because we're gonna go deep. Start with that. Start with that tip of the iceberg. Start with that. Okay. But this will not help you exit the loop. This will soothe you. This will help you begin to literally see yourself differently. Begin to reduce the pressure, the burden you're carrying. But if you want to leave that loop, exit that loop, you have to be in the subconscious mind. You have to get to this, you have to get to this mind. The subconscious mind. This is where you have to get to be able to exit the loop of self-punishment. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Now that we've made that clear, very clear, this is 95 to 99%, I think, in my opinion. 95 to 99%. So how do you work on that? How do you access that thing? I gave you a clue earlier when I mentioned my studying. You can't change something unless you're aware of it. So you're not aware of this part. You're not aware of what's running behind the scenes. 95 to 99% of you're not aware of it. So how can you change it? That is why you feel like you can't ever change the loop. That is why it feels like you're stuck. That is why it feels like you're stuck. Because you can't access it. You're not aware of it. You're aware of the 5%. You try to change things, but you can't. From this, you can't change what you're not aware of. That is why you need to do some work. You need to become aware of what's actually happening behind the scenes, of what's happening underneath, below the iceberg. This down, from this level down, you have to become aware of what's happening there. I have this thing, it's called crown codes. Crown codes, the 11-day coronation, where each day you unlearn a lie. Each day you unmask the things that are holding you back. Let me tell you very clearly. So each day, it's free. Each day you unlearn a lie. You look at the lie first of all. Then you unmask that lie. You really begin to see the entity of what that lie was actually doing to you. The heaviness that lie was bringing into your life. But just looking at the lie in your face with your two eyes, it's really starting to break the illusion. To tell you, wow, if I'm carrying this lie, what other lie am I carrying my heart to? Right? So you're literally looking at the lie. Then we have the unmasking, where we literally help you to unmask that lie completely. So there's no doubt about the lie that's actually holding you back. Then we have the revelation. A revelation as to who you really are. Then we have the crown code, because this whole thing is about remembering your crowns. I believe that every woman is an empress. Every man, I guess, an emperor. I haven't looked into that, but every woman is an empress. You're a woman, you're an empress. So if you're calling yourself lazy, if you're in these places because you haven't remembered your crowns, and you need to remember your crowns. So we have a crown code to help you remember your crown in there. We have the Empress move to really begin to help you shift what we called pattern interrupt earlier. I gave you one exercise of pattern interrupt earlier. So now we're pattern interrupting, but it's different this time because now you've done some, like you've gone a bit deeper inside of you, right? We have an Empress root. We have an Empress move. Sorry. Then we have a root blessing to really bless you, to really seal everything. After we seal it, the root blessing, you can win. And you do this for 11 days. 11 days repetition. For 11 days, you do this. By the 11th day, you remember your crown. I bet you feel very differently about yourself if you actually do this work. You feel very different about yourself. The Bible says when you transform by the renewing of your mind is being transformed. Because now you're not aware. You're not aware that, oh my God, this whole time I was bleeding here. Meanwhile, the whole time you kept putting bandages on this arm. You were bandaging this arm right here. Let's say you were bleeding on your right arm and you were bandaging your left arm. That doesn't make any sense. That's why you keep watching videos online, you keep trying to become better, but it's not working because you're working on the part of the body that is perfectly fine. It's if your left arm is bleeding and you're healing the right arm, you have a problem. You have a problem. You need to focus where there's injury. Focus on the left arm. And that left arm right now needs you. Save me, that song. It's literally saying SOS, save me, help me. Maybe that's why you're even here watching this video today with me. Whether you're watching it today, tomorrow, or 1,000 years from today, let me know how it's helping you. Let me know if anything I've shared has touched your heart. Let me know. Let me know, please. So I have crown codes for you. It's free. 11 days of work for free. Because I really want you to unlearn, to let go of these things, to let go of your imperfections. Not even imperfection, let go of this burden that you're carrying that is holding you from becoming the best version of yourself. That is why I made crown codes. I wanted to have an offer that I could give it for free to people who were just ready to make a change, who are ready to literally put in time into shedding those layers that were holding them back. Because now you understand that working here, like 5% to 1%, is not going to work long term. If you want to exit that loop of self-punishment, you have to work here. You have to walk below here, below the iceberg. It's what we do. And melting the ice. People like, yo man, you know what? I just need to activate today. Like, I need a major shift today. I have what I call crown activation, where you learn to make the parts of you that are making you want to believe, like those parts of you that are making you believe that you're lazy, believe that lie, because it's a lie, that you're lazy, call yourself in such names. You're going to make those parts of you your allies. Imagine if every part of you that was your enemy slowly becomes your ally. Imagine what that would do for your life. You start to have cheerleaders in your mind. And this work is like a couple of minutes. And you can do it among people. The thing is, you do it every single time that word comes out. Every single time you're scrolling, you pause and you do it. Every single time you want to do the thing, you pause and you do it. As you do that, you're literally training that part of you to become what? To become your ally. To become your ally. Imagine if you're walking around with a bunch of cheerleaders in your head. How fun will life be? Will becoming driven, would that be hard? And you will become driven without having to force yourself, without having to push yourself, drive yourself to grind your way through it. By the way, every time you want to punish yourself, don't. Remember this one thing I'm going to tell you. And if you're going to forget everything in this video, if everything in the video you're going to forget, remember this one thing. Every time you punish yourself, you take like 1,000 steps backward. Every time you say mean things to yourself, you take 1,000 steps backward. But every time you give yourself a hug, you give yourself compassion, instead of just like harshness and being so mean to yourself, you take steps forward, 10 steps forward, 100 steps forward, 1,000 steps forward, when you decide to say, I will not shame myself anymore. Because that part of you that wants to shame you is not even the real you. And I have other episodes on that, on false self. If you want me to go deeper into that, I can do that for you after I'm done with this series. Yeah. That's the one thing you should remember. Be kind to yourself through this entire journey. Don't call yourself names. Get crown coronation and really begin to look at the lies that are holding you back. It's free. The link is down below, by the way. It's free. When you put in your email, it might go in your junk, it might go in your spam, but I want you to know that if you're ready, don't procrastinate. Okay? If you have to pause the video, go down below, put in your email, get crown activation, start today. Start your day one today. put this false self behind you, and then come back and finish the video. But download it, because when you open it, like you're gonna get the email, you're gonna get the ebook. Don't just leave it there. Download it. That way you have it in your phone. That way, even 5 years from now, if you feel like you're kind of like losing your way a little bit, you can go back to Concord. You can do the 11-day coronation. If you feel like you just want to go fast and you want to have crowd activation is down below, right? It's a very affordable course. Buy that, you have it in your pocket. Whenever you feel like, you need to be hyped, you need to remember the techniques, you just watch it. It's very fast. It's like an hour and 10 or 20 minutes. It's very fast, but it's very effective. So choose, but start somewhere. And if you don't want to start anywhere, at least remember the one thing I said. Stop calling yourself these names. Instead of calling yourself lazy, tell yourself, I'm in need of a catalyst. That's all I need. My body, my mind, and my soul is saying SOS. That's all it is. Am I going to save them? Because nobody can save them except for you. Save me, save me. Nobody can save them except for you. Only you can save yourself. Only you can go down below or get crown activation and say, I just want to activate today, human. And pay for that course. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. I'll share a very personal story. I've shared it before, but I was a girl who stuttered since I was 5 years old. I had a stutter. I felt so ashamed to open my mouth and speak. But even then, God was really telling me. God was literally showing me. He was showing me that my gift was with speaking. Because when I spoke, people listened. When I spoke to people, they would always tell me, yo man, how do you know what to tell me? How do your words make me feel the way that they do? How do your words soothe me so much? And I'll say, I don't know. I'm just being myself. People would line up to talk to me about what they were feeling. And I'll just open my mouth and I'll speak, and they'll feel like they knew, like I said what they thought they needed to hear. And still, I kept saying, I don't know my purpose. Still, I kept saying that. So we all have our own, we all have our challenges. From the point I'm trying to make here. I was that girl. But yet here I am today, facing my fears and still declaring that I will not back down, I will not hide. I will do my work. Me being here is me doing my work, me doing the work of my purpose. Are you going to do yours? Are you going to take this offer that I'm giving to you for free as a gift and treasure it and apply it for yourself? Are you going to say, you know what? I have the funds. I deserve to be invested in. I'm going to invest in myself because I deserve it. And I think you do too. Will you do that? It took me 5 years to start my podcast. 5 years, I was so scared. I was terrified of putting myself out there. Even just on for the podcast. So my face wasn't being shown. Just my voice, just to tell you how scared I was to start. All that time wasted. I just think, imagine if I started my podcast, right? Before when I was only on Spotify. Imagine if I did that 7 years ago. 7 years ago, imagine if I did that when I was consistent. Imagine if I came on YouTube 7 years ago. Just imagine what I would be today. How much growth I would have had. I can sit here and complain and say, I wish I did all these things 7 years ago. I came on YouTube, I came on Spotify. I was so scared. I didn't give myself a chance. I wish. I will write books and never stop. But I can just say, I'm just grateful that I'm here right now and I have this opportunity right now before me. I'm just so grateful that God has given me an opportunity to be better. God has given me YouTube. God has given me live sessions. I don't even have to. I can just come here and share my message for free on the internet. I can actually help someone and I can make the world a better place by choosing to show up. Whether today it makes someone's life better, whether it makes someone's life better tomorrow, whether it makes someone's life better in 1,000 years from now. That's not the point. The point is that I showed up. The point is that I was myself. The point is that I no longer chickened out. I no longer chickened out. That's the point. I can sit here and bash myself for 10 years. about those 7 years I wasted. And it's even more than that. It could even be 10 years because I always knew in my heart that I knew I had to speak up. I knew I had a message to share. I knew I had to share something, but I didn't share it. Like, I don't want that to be you. I don't want that to be you. So today, like, give yourself a chance. Like, invest in yourself. Don't wait 10 years before you say, oh, I'm going to do something about it, right? Don't just stay here and just stay here in the 5 to 1%. Go below. Be you transform the renewal of your mind. Has your mind changed today? Because if your mind didn't change after everything I have shared, then watch the video again. Watch the video again. And maybe just go and take Coronation and say, you know what, I'm going to just go all in myself. You want to go all in, take crown activation. Invest in yourself. If you feel like, yo man, for me, like my business is because it's really my business area. I wanted to start my business, but I'm afraid of starting from zero. And I've mentioned this before. I don't know which live it was. Zero is beautiful. Zero is beautiful. Zero is a container that holds what was, what is, and everything that will be. Zero is the most magical number in the entire universe. Is the number is zero. The most beautiful number, the most powerful number is zero. Like binary code. If it wasn't for zeros, I wouldn't be live here right now. There'll be no internet. There'll be no computers. There'll be no freeway. There'll probably be no nothing because the math will not be that advanced. The invention of zero is what led to advanced math, advanced computer science. All those things started with the number zero, literally, because before zero didn't exist. Zero did not exist. Let's just see. I forgot. Let's see when they created the number zero. When did they create the number zero? Someone said Department of Education. No, I mean, this is recommending me that, but I mean the number zero. When did they? So zero was created around 300 BC, right? That's 300 years before Christ. 300 years before Christ, right? So what? 2,325 years ago, around that time, zero was invented. Imagine how much things have changed since then. Around 2,400 years ago. Let's just round it up. It hasn't even been that long. 2,325 years ago. Imagine how much things have changed. All because of one number, zero. The number you're so afraid of, the number you load so much. You're afraid to start at zero. That's why you're running away. That's why you're not being consistent. Just start. I have a course called Zero Views Fully Crowned. I made a whole course to honor zero. And but guess what? When I made that course, I wasn't even so into zero. Now I'm like so obsessed with zero. I want to have zero tea parties. Not to mourn you, but to honestly celebrate that where you are is so expansive. You're at the beginning of something mighty, something amazing. But do you recognize where you are? Do you recognize the gift, the privilege of being at zero? Before people do not even have that number. You won't be able to have online businesses. None of that if it wasn't for zero. No online business for us. No YouTube for us. No freeway for us. No internet for us. No online shopping. None of that if it wasn't for the number zero. Can you say thank you God for zero? I have a whole course called Zero Is Fully Crowned before I was even obsessed with zero. Because God literally gives you the download before he explains it, right? Because you get to be fully crowned whether or not you have 0 views or whether you have 1 billion views. If you feel like you have that massive fear of starting at zero, I have a course for you. It's called 0 Views Fully Crowned. The link is down below. Get that course and have fun. We literally laugh at zero. We laugh, we reign, and we invoice with zero audience. You learn to charge for your magic with zero audience. You learn to be bold as the empress that God made you to be. Because why not? Life is too short. Life is so beautiful. Life is so beautiful for you to just like stay in this loop, this toxic loop of self-punishment. Give yourself a chance. Don't wait for 10 years. Don't wait for 7. Don't wait for 10 years before you want to make things different. Before you want to start your business, before you want to let go of this thing that's holding you back, start today. Start today. Download the free coin codes. Buy the coin activation at a very cheap price. Buy it. And say, I am done. I'm investing in myself. I am done with all of this. I am letting all this go today. I'm buying zeros for the crumb because I want to celebrate the number zeros. I think we should have a zero tea party. Oh my goodness, that would be so much fun. For all the creators that are just starting out, everyone wants to start a new business. Like let's say you want to start a new business, we can make like a zero club, a zero to a billion club. Because it doesn't really matter. Zero is the beginning of everything. It's a container that holds everything together. It's an expansive number. So start there. Maybe you feel you're lazy. You think you're at zero. You think you're zero. Zero is expansive. Let me tell you something. I'll leave you with that. Um. Okay, I think I found it. 1 second. I'm here. So it says in spirituality, the number zero often represents potential, wholeness, and the source of creation. Now, if you're religious, you believe in God. Personally, for me, I'm Christian. What is the source? Source is God. Okay, source is literally God. Source is God. And it says that zero is the source of all creation. The source of all creation, which means that there's no number closer to God than zero. There's no number closer to God than zero. Zero is the number that's as closest and intimate to God than any other number. Let me 1 second, let me just type one thing here. Okay. What was this? And is zero the number that is closer to God? Let's put. Oh, it's computer. Come on. Bear with me, y'all. I am doing this for you because I want you to break these ideas in your mind. And this life has been so long. I'm still here. I'm still here sharing and pouring into you because I'm having fun. I guess I really enjoy staying here and talking and sharing and helping you have clarity and giving you, the best of me because I really love being here. I love you. I love helping. So let me know if it's helping. By the way, like, share, subscribe. Okay, it says here, zero is holy, zero is divine. Zero is the closest number to God in number form. Like the closest thing to God in number form is zero. There's no number as close to God as zero. It's zero. It's zero. So why are you loving zero so much? Right now I'm here, I'm live. I have zero people in the chat, and God is here with me. I'm here with God. I want to thank God for allowing me to go live for so long. For my very first live, that was 10 minutes long or 9 minutes, can't remember, to now being able to go live for 57 minutes and just talking and having God just pour into me, I'm so grateful for this gift that has been given to me, for this computer, for this technology, all because of zero. Join me in Zero Beautifully Crowned. Let's laugh at this. Let's have fun. Let's understand, like, let's no longer tie our worthiness to our views, let's no longer tie our worthiness to our visibility. Let's divorce those things. Together. Let's laugh. Let's invoice and charge for our magic. Right? Zero is not empty. It's everything waiting to become. Okay? When you're starting something, you're not starting at -5, you're starting at zero. Everything waiting to become. That is you. You are divine potential. You are amazing. So even if you feel like you are zero, people are want to call you zero. Oh, you're lazy, you're this. No. Tell them I am everything waiting to become. I am everything waiting to become. What I become is up to God. What I become is up to the universe. Don't worry about it, but just know that I'm everything waiting to become. Everything. And hug yourself. And say, yes, today is the day when everything changes. Yes, today is the day everything changes. Because I decided that everything changes today. That today I'll no longer be the same. I won't see myself the same anymore. I won't think of myself as lazy. I won't say mean, horrible things to myself anymore. I decide that every time I go, I call myself lazy. I go 1,000 steps backward. Why do I call myself? I need a catalyst. And that catalyst is, I gave you a very simple technique, but I want to exit the self-punishment loop. So I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to go down below. I'm going to click crown codes. the 11-day coronation that is free because I am done in this cycle. I'm going to get crown activation because I'm done in this cycle. Because I don't want to be seen that. I don't want to feel like zero is a bad thing anymore. Zero is what everything is waiting to become. And I've been waiting to become my best self. And now I'm no longer waiting. Guys, this is my first time hitting 1 hour in the live. And I'm doing it with you, with God. I have zero people here right now, but God is here because zero is the number of God. I'm here right now. I'm so happy that together we can literally cross limits together. This is my first time doing this as I'm talking about this very intimate and sacred topic. It's not an accident. I want to thank God for this. I want to thank you for listening, for being here. Whether you're here today, in 1,000 years from now, I do not care about that. I'm happy that you're spending this time with me. Whether it's later today or whether it's 2,000 years from now, 2,323 years from now, 25 years, sorry. I don't care. I'm happy to have you here. So decide. No longer stop waiting to become. Become today. Become. Take that first step. Take that leap of faith. That leap of faith into the best version of yourself. It all starts with one thing, a decision. Will you decide today that you're no longer carrying those old burdens with you? You're putting them away. You're melting your eyes. We're gonna do a prayer right now. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Oof. Say, dear God, I thank you for guiding me to this life. I thank you for putting me exactly where I am right now, for opening my heart for this message. Come into my life, God. Carry me into my next level. Carry me into my next level, God. Propel me into my future. Right here and right now, I decide that nothing will ever be the same. Why? Because I had the compassion and the love for myself to be this long. I had the compassion and love for myself to stay. So I decide that nothing will ever be the same from this point onward. I decide that I will care for myself. I will care for myself like never before. I decide that I am ready to become my next best self. I decide that I am everything waiting to become. That I am everything waiting to become. And I decide to become today. Today is June 21st, 2025. June 21st, 2025. Write it down. The day everything changed. The day I became no longer waiting. Amen. How do you feel? How do you feel? Because that declaration has registered in your brain. Your inner child has heard that declaration. It is done. It is over. It is finished. Do you believe it is finished? Type down below in the comment section, hashtag it is finished. Hashtag it is finished. And give yourself a chance. You deserve it. You deserve it. This was so much fun. I'm going to go right now and I'm going to record a short for this episode and I will see you tomorrow. I hope you're enjoying this series. Tomorrow is episode 17. Today was 16, yeah. 17, and I'll see you. Bye. I love you.